It was the economic heart of Europe, pulsing with the rhythm of the tides. In the span of a single century, its population quadrupled, reaching 200,000 people, an almost impossible miracle for its time. A city built on water, quite literally rising out of a swamp to challenge empires. In this video, I use modern artificial intelligence tools to bring the paintings of the Dutch Golden Age and old engravings back to life. We can shift our point of view, walk along the cobbled quays, and see the same scenes the way Rembrandt or Vermeer once did. What artists captured in stillness will set in motion. First, I want to take us to the harbor. By the mid-17th century, the port of Amsterdam looked like a dense forest, not of trees, but of ship masts. Goods flowed in from every known corner of the world. This was a global warehouse. The air smelled of tar, salt water, and spices worth more than gold. Pepper, nutmeg, cinnamon, Chinese silk, and Brazilian sugar. Ships of the Dutch East India Company, the world's first multinational corporation, docked here, delivering riches that would permanently reshape the city. But Amsterdam didn't just receive ships. It grew inward. Unlike the chaotic sprawl of London at the time, Amsterdam's expansion was a triumph of planning. The famous ring of canals, the Grachtengordel, was a massive construction site in the 1660s. These canals weren't just decorative luxuries for the wealthy. They were the city's transportation system, its industrial conveyor belt. Goods were unloaded from seagoing vessels onto flat-bottomed barges and delivered straight to warehouse doors, often located in the attics of residential homes. Take a look at these houses. Narrow, tall, and topped with a fixed hook beneath the roofline. The staircases inside were too steep and tight for furniture or cargo, so anything heavy was hoisted through the windows with ropes. People lived, quite literally, above their business. Here, along the Herengracht and Keizersgracht canals, a new elite took root. Not nobles by birthright, but merchants, bankers, and industrialists, self-made people. If the canals were the arteries, then Dam Square was the heart. Here, on the site of the old dam across the Amstel River, life was in constant motion. Fishermen, traders, politicians, all blending into a single crowd. In this reconstruction of a 1650s engraving, we see the Old Way House. Every good brought into the city had to be weighed here for taxation. It was a symbol of the order and bureaucracy that held the Republic together. But by mid-century, Amsterdam's ambitions had outgrown its old buildings. The city needed a symbol of its power. That's how construction began on the new City Hall, known today as the Royal Palace. Contemporaries called it the eighth wonder of the world, a massive classical structure. It towered over medieval rooftops, declaring to the world, "This is not a city ruled by a king. This is a city ruled by its citizens." Yet real power was concentrated not only in City Hall, but here as well, at the world's first permanent stock exchange. Designed by Hendrik de Keyser, the building stood directly over the water. Inside, in its open courtyard, modern capitalism was taking shape. This was a place where people traded not goods, but shares in future profits. Stocks, bonds, futures, concepts that feel familiar to us today, were being tested here amid the noise and shouts of brokers. It was a place where fortunes could be made in a single day or lost just as quickly as happened during the famous tulip mania a few decades earlier. But let's step away from the Grand Canals for a moment. Beyond the Golden Ring lay the Jordaan, a district of workers, immigrants, and craftsmen. Amsterdam was a magnet. Huguenots from France, Jews from Spain and Portugal, Germans, Scandinavians, all came here in search of refuge and work. The city was known for its religious tolerance. As long as you paid your taxes and kept public order, no one asked which god you prayed to. For 17th century Europe, torn apart by religious wars, this was an unheard of freedom. When night fell over the city, it transformed. Street lighting was scarce, and the canals turned into black mirrors. It was in this light, or in its absence, that the great masters found their inspiration. Rembrandt van Rijn walked these streets. His home stood on Jodenbrestraat, in the bustling Jewish quarter. He saw these faces, these fabrics, this play of light and shadow that we now consider the signature of Dutch painting. In this scene, we see a group of civic guards. They are not soldiers, they are citizen militiamen. Wealthy burghers protecting their peace and their status. In winter, city life changed even more dramatically. During the period we call the Little Ice Age, the canals froze for weeks, sometimes months. The water that once divided the city became ice that brought it together. Dukes and beggars, merchants and children, everyone took to the ice. It was a celebration of life in defiance of the cold. The scenes painted by Avercamp show us a city that knew how to savor the moment. Towering above it all was the Westerkerk. Its spire, crowned with an imperial crown, a gift from Emperor Maximilian I, was the tallest landmark in the city. From this tower, completed in 1638, you could see a city that believed in its own exceptionalism. And it was in the shadow of this church, in a common grave, that a penniless Rembrandt would later be laid to rest. A tragic irony of a city that offered limitless opportunity, yet could be ruthless to those who fell out of step with success. Today, Amsterdam has changed, but its skeleton, its spirit of the Golden Age, is still here. Thanks to technology, we can briefly peek behind the veil of time and see it exactly as it was at the zenith of its glory. If you enjoyed this journey into the past and want to see a reconstruction of another city, Paris, Rome, or perhaps ancient Babylon, let me know in the comments. I would love to continue exploring history with you. Thanks for watching.